Hey, kids. You're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. Bri and Jacob are here to start things off. Aki might show up eventually. Who knows? She's the wild card. But how are you two doing?
Feel less like death.
You feel less like death. That is very good. Jacob, do you feel less like death?
Yeah, compared to last week, thankfully. I don't have that stomach bug and that I had, so hooray.
Riveting conversation, I'm sure.
It is. It is.
I mean,
And that is as exciting as the show gets when we have an interview to take care of. I promise we're not this bad usually.
No.
I mean, I could
No,
go
we
into
are.
details of my stomach bug.
No.
No.
All right.
No.
You're acting like it was boring, so I was like, I could go into the gory details of it all.
Chris, Bischke,
Damn it.
and Garrett Rose, welcome to the show. How are you two doing today?
I also feel less like death because I was sick recently and I'm feeling better. So I do
good.
appreciate that. How you said that. I like that.
We're all on the mend. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
I guess I'm feeling more like death technically. I'm not getting sick or anything, but we're all slowly making our way there, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
I'm not getting over sickness, so I guess objectively I'm feeling more like death.
There you go.
If that's cool.
Yeah.
We're all now pondering life. So you guys are from Daylight Basement Studio. You just put out the game Rightfully, Beary Arms. For the people who don't know what this game is or what your studio is, give us the sales pitch. What of the game, and who are you two?
Yeah, I'm Chris. I'm a developer on Rightfully Beary Arms and at the studio Daylight Basement. Daylight Basement's a pretty small studio based out of like the New England area. Basically like four of us, mostly doing this stuff part-time on the side here. But yeah, we came out with our debut game. Rightfully Beary Arms is a twin stick bullet hell roguelike shooter. So you go around, you can get certain meta progressions like upgrading your weapons like permanent upgrades during your run, and then you get certain like in run only upgrades like your weapons and different things like that. So you can kind of customize your build. Run around as a little teddy bear gunning things. Garrett, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Garrett. I'm a newer addition to the Daylight Basement team. I did the music for Rightfully Beary Arms. Joined the team about 4 years ago. Just kind of made a small handful of tracks for the full release. It's been a pleasure working with them. A team that's all local. I can drive to their house and shake them down for money or snacks or whatever. And
He does this
easy.
though. Yeah.
So the
Usually-
whole team
Actually, I
is
usually-
local.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
we're all.
We're all from the New England area. Yeah, sorry.
That's really cool. A lot of developers that we talk to on the show are all remote, or it's like, yeah, we met this guy online and he's been doing our music. He's in like 14 time zones away. We never actually talk to him because we're never awake at the same time. So to hear of an indie where like everyone's actually working together is really cool.
Yeah, we met Garrett at we just went over this PAX 2023?
I think 2022.
Or 2022, yeah. And yeah, it felt, everything was like, oh, just, and there's certain moments that just like fall into place. It was like he came over to us and we kind of just put music into the game, and he's like, hey, I do music too, and he sent his portfolio over, and then we found out he's like right around the corner from us, and it's like, yeah.
Plus, I had a gun.
He had a gun. He had a. He began the shakedowns early, believe it or not. So
that's the best time to do it. I mean, you gotta find your audience, play to the audience. Like, hey, they can handle a stick up.
Pretty sure this is the same story as the Beastie Boys' Paul Revere.
Exactly.
Jacob, you were the one who reviewed this game. What are your thoughts and what kind of questions do you have?
I mean, I thought it was a really fun game. I really like the art direction with it. So often with these kind of games, you don't get any kind of tutorial. So, I mean, that actually caught me off guard for one of these kind of games. So, like, was there a basis for having one? Like, or did you feel like, yeah, we should probably have one? Or, like, is it because you wanted there to be, like, a plot with it? Like, it feels like a really weird question, but what inspired the idea to have a tutorial at the beginning of this game?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. So much of RBA's development was just like born from just constantly playtesting and taking feedback from particular users. And so, I mean, like, we went in with a target audience of, I would say, like, people that were used to twin stick roguelite shooters, and then we were like, well, I think we kind of have an appeal to the game that can bring in a more general audience. And when we started doing like more general playtesting, it was, a lot of players were very confused with like different terminology and different concepts within the game. So it was like, we could just make a dungeon that just quickly introduces this stuff and kind of at least hopefully puts certain players up to success. And I feel like the tutorial isn't so intrusive that, like, if you already know what to do, it's not, I don't know, too time consuming. You can kind of blow through it pretty fast, and you still are clearing dungeons and having, I think, fun with it. So that was mainly the inspiration behind it. Was certain players were confused around certain ideas, and we wanted to try to help them.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean,
yeah.
It was just one of those things.
Do you know how many games that we cover that Jacob's like, there's no fucking tutorial. This sucks. Like, there's like 4 buttons on the controller. How am I supposed to figure this out?
Yeah, she's not here with us, but we've got another member on the team, April, and she's got some background in like educational psychology. So she was a big proponent to adding a tutorial as well, and she helped kind of redesign. The first tutorial we had was bonkers. It was not helpful at all, and it was it like introduced like certain concepts, fair enough, but then there was other concepts we just kind of had like novels of text around, and like people were just not reading it. Like, obviously it made sense. So yeah, she came in and she kind of helped out with using her brain and her background on how to, like, I think get it into, I think, a pretty good spot where it is now. So
that's fascinating. Like that they that your member has a degree in that. Like, I mean, does anybody else have like random degrees that have really helped out on that? I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, like, I always find it fascinating, like, when a job is just like, ooh, that's going to help us out quite a bit. Like, one of my previous jobs was in banking, and they found out I had an English degree, and they're like, oh my God, somebody who's going to be able to actually write emails. Thank God.
Yeah, that sort of stuff is so important. Man, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like, I think, like, so Mike and I, the other dev on the project, were both more, I'll put this in air quotes, like traditional software engineers. So our day job is in more of like enterprise software and coding, stuff like that. So we're not traditional game devs. We didn't take that route. And I think like our coding is pretty good because of that, but we've had to like, I think, get better at like things like the art and improve on like game design and stuff like that. Garrett, you've got a pretty unique background, I feel like, but it also, I think, caters to music itself. So
you talking about my obsession with bagels?
And I mean, you've even done like marketing jingles and things like that.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
No, yeah. So when I first got out of school, I was trying to mostly do music for advertising, just because I was convinced that was like the place to go to for money. But then it was a lot of like local business boomers just like telling me they didn't want to like work with my ideas or anything, and like just a lot of people like saying no and not being helpful. And so like eventually kind of moved over to making music for tabletop for my like mine and my friends' games, and then that made its way over to music for just games in general. But I think the perspective with, starting in advertising made it so like when I approach projects, it's like a heavy focus on brand and like what's trying to be said, but not in like a corny way, but in like a, just someone's trying to make something that is considered like, it's a piece of their own art. And your goal is to like sit there and respect that and listen to what they're trying to say, and then just put it into a new medium and not just kind of show up and be like, well, I'm an artist in my own right. Let me just do my thing and it'll work. But like really making sure you understand the thing that you're working with, I think is a kind of a good part of that background that I had.
Very cool. While we're talking about your staff, you do have an advisory board on your website that I believe we should address.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, let's just go down here. We've got Mikey.
He's big. He's a big licker too.
Is Mikey a good boy?
He's a great boy. He's a fantastic boy.
Good pupper. We got some kitties.
What kind of pupper?
Smudge.
He's actually, talk about backgrounds. He did get he's a certified therapy dog. So he did get training in goes with the background of the educational psychologist too. So they're a team. So he goes and visits children or goes to like different homes and things like that. Makes people smile,
Oh yeah.
Jacob, what was your question?
What kind of dog?
Oh, he's a Lhasa Apso. So it's like a...
Oh my God. Those are so cute. Lots of hair though. Lots of hair.
Yeah. We don't grow his out, but we cut it. So it's a puppy cut.
You've got Smudge, who you claim will occasionally puke. I'm going to call bullshit on that. I'm going to say frequently puke.
Frequently, it's kind of if she doesn't eat when she asks to eat, then it's like, you got a 30-minute timer set and there's going to be puke. And it might be like days before you figure out where she puked, but yeah.
When you step in it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've got Tilly.
Tilly would be here right now if I didn't have to kick her out, because when I hop on calls, she hears me and she is all over the microphone. She's all over me. And in podcasts, it's a little bit hard to handle and manage, but yeah, for meetings, she attends, I think, every single meeting we have, and she's usually front and center on the camera. So
did she take the minutes or?
I'm not entirely sure what she does, but she's there. She's involved. She's wielding and dealing. A lot of business in that head. So
okay, all right.
Beautiful calico.
Oh yeah.
Toes.
Yeah, not a lot of business in this guy's head. Definitely not.
Is there anything in that one's head?
We do have a not a running joke because it's a very serious matter, but I believe there's dust in his head. That's kind of the main thing he's after. Yeah, he's always looking for more of it to fill himself up.
Beautiful. I love when cats fit their name. Like, we have a potato, and she's just like, she's just an adorable potato, Mama Tater. And then finally, Tiger.
Oh, Tiger. Such a sweet girl. She was around for the beginning of RBA development and saw the project through about halfway, but sadly, it wasn't her time anymore. So,
oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all good. Yeah, but she is. She was such a loaf, classic cat loaf, just loafed everywhere.
Did you sneak her in the game?
There's like parts of her that get represented in the game, that's for sure, but nothing in particular I would say that's called out. I feel like Barry's personality, again, like nothing directly comes out of Barry's personality. Like, Barry doesn't talk, but we've always like I feel like we've always like acted like there's certain animals or pets within Barry and comes out. So we try to represent that in certain ways.
No, we should probably talk more about the game. Before we get into that, we should mention to our viewers in Twitch right now that you guys were awesome enough to hook us up with 2 keys for the game on Xbox. So if you would like to try winning a copy, make sure you're following us. Type !enter. Go visit their website, wishlist the game, click the link, do the thing, whatever. If you're listening to us via YouTube or MP3, Jacob, what did they do?
They didn't get a chance to win anything, I think.
That is correct.
Out. Yeah.
Yep. Fucked up.
Yeah.
Womp, womp, womp.
All the more reason to invent a time machine so you can go back in time, then win the game.
Yes, if you invent a time machine, use it to go back and listen to us.
I can't think of a better reason to invent a time machine. I mean, yeah, so, I can't, like, killing Hitler. I don't know. Yeah, you should definitely go back in time to just listen to the podcast as it airs.
Number one.
Yes.
Number one.
Absolutely. Now that we covered all the important stuff.
I mean, there's only like 1,100 episodes, so after you're done with that, then you can go kill Hitler. But you really need to listen to it just so you have like all the continuity and the lore and all that kind of stuff.
Can you imagine someone sitting down and listening to every episode start to finish?
I can't imagine anyone sitting down to listen to us, period. So
listening to an episode start to finish.
They'd have to kill Hitler afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I have after listening to all that, I've got one thing I want to do right now.
But rightfully Beary Arms, when did development on this start?
Started like late 2018, I think. We were less serious about development then, I would say. So it was like I said, we do a lot of this in our part-time and I'm going to use air quotes again, like side gig. Over time and COVID allowed us to kind of really focus more on development and get a lot of gains out of development there. And then post COVID, I feel like is like when we got really serious about stuff and trying to take it off. So 2018.
Usually when we talk to developers, COVID kind of like wrecked their plans for what they're developing, and it seems like it kind of helped you guys and brought you closer.
Yeah, like, I mean, for me, I'm a natural introvert, so just being at home, like on the computer, like, and I had an excuse, like, to be at my desk, like, for godly amount of hours, and there was no plans to go outside, or I could just say, like, hey, I can't go outside. I mean, I feel like I thrived.
I will say this about the pandemic. Like, one of the things I loved about it was that all these different stores introduced curbside pickup and then kept it afterwards. And I was just like, oh my God. So you're saying I can just go on your app, pay for everything that I need, and then I don't have to go into your store? Oh, yeah,
this was always an option. This was always, they kept it from us, is how I felt. Delivery too. It's
see, that's the real conspiracy about COVID. Why did they hold out curbside pickup from us for so long?
Why did it take COVID so that I could request that? I didn't want to even talk to the person delivering the food. They could just leave it out on my at my door, and I could just pick it up after they're done. It was amazing.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, since it was our part-time, this was our part-time, all of a sudden, at least the office that I worked in, it was work from home, and I no longer had to commute in and out. So all of a sudden I just gained a bunch of hours there. And, I could, at my lunch break, take time and start coding too, because I was at my home computer. So, I mean, it was just all these things that allowed us, I guess, afforded us more time. And I think that's why it worked out for us. I could totally see if you were a full-time studio and you had an office set up somewhere, how that could potentially disrupt you. But for us, I think it helped us. Sad, but I mean, took a pandemic, but whatever. What was the question about the time machine again? Just kidding. Yeah.
How many Hitlers would you kill?
For one pandemic.
As long as
kill him, go back in time another minute, kill him again, go back in time another minute, kill him again.
I'm enjoying this.
When you first started development in 2018, or when the idea first came to, the gaming world was completely different. We went from getting a handful of releases in a month to the point that we're getting 50 plus games a week anymore. How does it feel trying to compete in that kind of atmosphere and that kind of ocean of games? I know the game originally hit early access a couple years ago. Yeah. What did you guys do to stand out and keep the project going and keep it alive?
Yeah, it's such a great question. It's hard. It's I mean, as a player, I love it, right? Because I enjoy so much of this content, and it's really cool to see all these different derivatives of art through gaming and different takes on it. So as a player, I'm loving it. As a developer myself, it can be so challenging. I think changing your definition of success is kind of important over time, and looking for different goals to be able to stand out. I think we do a pretty good job of attending local cons and going and kind of building a stronger community around that. So I think that's one thing I'm really proud of with RBA is we have a really cool community here in New England that people support us, and it's slowly kind of trickled into Discord, and it feels like some of these people might be lifetime fans. As long as we keep making games, they may just kind of be around to chat and check it out. And so I feel like that's our secret sauce. I don't know, Garrett, if you got some other input on that.
I mean, just in terms of the work that went into making the thing and making sure that it feels relevant. I think the thing that I was always telling myself and hopefully reminding the team is just to always take the thing seriously. And the thing I always say in whatever job I'm working in also is make sure you stick the landing. Because I always think my problem is I have a great idea for something, and then I start hashing it out, and then I go, yeah, I think I got it. And then I just kind of rush through the end, and then it doesn't hit the way it's supposed to. But I think having this, the moment of being in early access where we were getting feedback and had to act on that in some way, definitely made it so we can hone in on like what is important in the game and how we can wield that to make sure we're sticking that landing and giving people what they want. And then, all the while just making sure we're taking it seriously. Like it's, even though it's kind of like a fun, like pick up for a little bit and then put down kind of game, not like a, something that's intended to be like this life-changing, kind of profound experience. It's still something you should take seriously for what it is. And so like with that in the music, like any like little idea that I had that I wanted to try to go in on, I was like, I should just do this. I shouldn't not do something because it might be too hard. And like some of my favorite moments in the soundtrack are when I like did this stupid, ridiculous thing that was kind of annoying for me to do. Like, particularly one of the tracks is like a full like Irish jig that is just like I play like banjo and penny whistle and whatnot on it, and it sucked. It was so annoying because I had to like learn how to play all those parts, and it got to a point where like I was like just trying to like play one measure at a time to record it. But when it all came together, I was like, this sounds really cool, and I was pretty happy with it. So like it's something that, if I stopped myself and said, I'm doing all this for like a game where you're a teddy bear with a gun, I might have like, like psyched myself out of going all in with this annoying idea. But I was like, no, I want to make sure I'm taking this seriously. And I think when you do that every step of the way with like the art and the design and the music, players pick up on that. And even if it's like a simpler, quick play kind of game, they still know that kind of care went into it. And that's appreciated. And I think that's kind of what gives it that extra boost of life, because every time we would, bring those ideas back into the project, the whole team would get excited about it again and, give us more gas for sure.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know a little bit more about the music. You've got a lot going on there. You just mentioned like a jig and a penny whistle, and you've got some rock, a child's piano. I think there were some chip tunes in there. Like, what else you got? That was some fun stuff.
Thank you. I think the goal with this soundtrack was trying to combine all the different like sounds and styles that I was getting from the art style and the way the game felt. So kind of like pixel art, lots of goofy pun character names, and also some like heavy hitting kind of weaponry, like stuff that feels good and kind of like violent and angry to play. And like how that kind of translated into music was like for the cutesy stuff, I definitely was pulling from a lot of like cartoony soundtracks. Like the Irish jig thing is definitely from like a Flapjack or SpongeBob type of world. But then like combining that with the like Hades soundtrack kind of style, with the like heavier rock influence and distorted bass and whatnot. And then also putting on top of that like childlike whimsy, with like the toy pianos and kazoos and things like that. It ends up creating this multi-layered thing that I think, not only when it's all at the same time does it kind of distinctly hit as this thing, but also it gives me a lot to work with when I'm like actually in the game and I want to have some stuff come in and some stuff drop out. It makes it so like you can kind of play the music to different moments, depending on like what's happening and that kind of thing.
Very cool.
What led to you bringing the game to Xbox?
Xbox is such a, I mean, it's in the news a lot right now, and there's maybe some more criticism on Microsoft and their direction.
Did you guys hear anything?
More criticism about their plan of attack recently, but I mean, like growing up, Xbox was so indie friendly. It was crazy, like the penny arcade and things like that. So I had a lot of formative gaming years on being able to pick up indie games from the Xbox Live Arcade and things like that. Mm-hmm. So it was so cool to be able to just like shoot our shot, apply to ID Xbox, and then I forget how it was, like a month or two later getting an acceptance to it. So I think for me, for me personally, that was just like something I always wanted to do and be a part of. And yeah, I think just in general from like the game perspective though, like twin stick shooters like do better on twin stick consoles, right? And so I think it helped match our like target platforms and demographic and stuff like that. So
very cool. In the same vein, oh god, I just had a follow-up question, and my cat is using the litter box and has completely wrecked my train of thought. Good lord.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll do that.
It's like scratching at your brain.
Petunia, damn you.
Petunia does not smell like a petunia.
No, not at all.
I love that name though. That's a good name for a cat.
Yeah. On the same vein with the Xbox, is there been any thought into looking into the Play Anywhere program?
Yeah, we would love that. We've looked into it. I think we even applied at one point. And I'm not entirely sure what the details were or like what we need to do with that fully, but yeah, that's something for sure we want to maybe get into with one of these updates. I think maybe what was stopping us now that I'm talking about it is you may need to also be Xbox One certified, and I think we had some frame rate issues with that. But since being accepted to the Switch, I think those two hardware platforms are pretty similar, Xbox One and the Switch. So I think if we get the game running fairly well on the Switch, we'll probably just get certified for Xbox One, and then I think we would make it then and do well. So
very cool. I know a lot of people love the whole being able to play on console and then being able to continue playing on their PC. I love it. I love the program. Totally. I've been playing so many more games on my computer lately because my wife has been Netflix binging. So
yeah, it totally makes sense.
From the game's early access launch to full release, what kind of changes were made to the game?
Oh, a bunch. How
did it evolve?
Yeah, I would say the big thing that we had going into EA, the game was like way more difficult. Maybe from a not fun perspective. Like I think there's difficult games that are fun, like different Soul-like games and stuff like that. But our game was a little bit of a heavy hitter to start. Like bullets were way faster, and the dodging mechanic was. I would say everything just in general was like faster, and we noticed that players had a more difficult time with that. So we slowed a lot of things down, and we found that players seem to just have more fun with it, and we're dodging a lot more, and just had more of a genuine experience with the game. We also had this like other system within the game. So one of the early designs of RBA, I really like the idea of having some like strategy planning aspect within a twin stick. So twin sticks tend to be more reliant on skill. And then like you get games like Hades where there's a little bit more thought. When that came out, what was that, like 2019 or 2020? There's like a little bit more thought of like picking up what you want as a reward in the next room and how that could potentially influence your build. It's no longer just like complete random chance. And we had this system where you had a node, a collection of nodes that represented different dungeons, and you can kind of plan your path through to the boss. And there was like some other mechanics built into it. So you can imagine like a map or like a star cluster, and you're basically choosing the planets that you wanted to go to. And you could get information on each planet of like what the enemies were like and the potential rewards from that planet, things like that. And it was like back to the tutorial question from earlier that you had. It was like way too confusing for players. And not that we couldn't have figured out a way to get them to like be able to consume that information and learn about it. I think at that point in time, when we were debating on like whether removing the system or not, Hades launched out of early access and like, you know, took the world by storm, the roguelike world by storm in that moment. And they just had this sort of simple design of you had 2 or 3 doors with the potential reward on it. And it was like, so it was a lot easier for us as a like new studio, instead of like redesigning our system, to just like kind of maybe conform to an idea that most players were understanding through Hades. And so that's kind of like what led to us kind of cutting that out. And then at the end of your dungeon, now you get basically presented with like the rewards for your next dungeon you can kind of choose. And so we kind of simplified that system. I'm a little bummed about that. Maybe at some point in time I'll bring back that like planning step. I think Void Bastards do something like that too, but they seem to have like an easier time. I don't know why with their player base on them getting it than we did. So but yeah. Yeah, that was a very big change that happened during EA with feedback and stuff. So
what kind of feedback have you gotten since the Xbox launch?
Yeah, mostly I think like it's been pretty positive. Like we get players like emailing and in our Discord of, yeah, they're having fun. They're trying to figure out like all the outfits. That's always a fun question we get, is just like, how many outfits are there? And that's how you kind of know that players are exploring the game as much as they can. And that's actually one of the feedbacks we got during EA was people were like, I want to dress Barry. So that's we ended outfits into the game for it. Yeah, and so some of the more critical feedback is, you know, certain design systems like the run times and weapon upgrades. Some players I think want to be able to maybe experiment more with, or don't quite get the synergies. So we're gonna potentially put in like an update or two that potentially address some of that stuff. It might not be a complete overhaul, but you know, something to help players along the way.
Makes sense. I have a question, possible feedback. Is there some kind of graphical filter on the game that gives it like a staticky effect look?
Yeah.
Let me turn that the fuck off.
You want, yeah, that makes sense.
It's like a CRT filter in games. Oh, yeah, I just want to see the game. I'm so sorry. I love it, but oh man, I hate those kinds of filters. But totally consider that feedback.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's so obvious now. But like going through development kind of like on your first sort of like full production thing, you know, you get feedback like that and you just like think back, you're like, yeah, that's so obvious. Why didn't I do that? And it's so much easier to build it in from the start than it is usually to build it in afterwards. But yeah, something we could probably do pretty easily. So yeah.
Real reason Joe brought you on. Get rid of the CRT filter. Now get the fuck off my podcast.
Yeah, moving on. We got news to talk about. No.
No.
I completely respect that. I do like that. Bring us on, kick us off.
That would really be funny if that was the only reason I brought you on here. And it was. So, with that said, no. So when you guys aren't working on games, what are you playing? What are you looking forward to this year?
I'm currently playing a lot of Abiotic Factor. That's sinking a ton of my time in that game. Have any of you guys heard or played it?
I have watched it. A friend of mine, yeah.
It's just like
looking it up to see if I've actually seen it or not, because I am terrible with game names anymore.
We just have so many come across our desk.
No, it's like you said, it's a crazy time where so many games are being released. It's like an office survival sim, which is like a wild take. If you guys ever played the original Half-Life or have any sort of feelings toward that, it takes like a vibe of like the original Black Mesa. The graphics are pretty much similar to that. The aesthetic is like spot on to the original Half-Life.
That's really cool.
You're going around
and that way, but that makes sense.
Yeah, you're collecting like scraps from like people's like monitors or like computer parts, and you're building things with like staplers and stuff like that. And it's just like something I never would have thought of or considered, and it weirdly works. It's a lot of fun. You unlock different parts of this like science laboratory, and you're uncovering why it shut down again, like similar to like how Black Mesa had a experiment failure. It kind of is like an ode to that, I think. Yeah,
I feel like the one takeaway I got from the game while watching it was that there's poop soup in it, and
Yes.
that's a big factor.
There is a poop mechanic, which is like, it was so funny the first time it happens. Your character gets a static effect, and they mention they have to defecate, and you have to go over and find a bathroom, and you play a little mini game to clear your bowels, and you're like, okay, like that's a mechanic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those interested, it's on Game Pass. Yeah. Actually have it installing right now.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. What else? What else has your eye this year? Anything coming out?
And I feel like I haven't been paying too much attention. I feel like I've disconnected a little bit since the RBA release, and I feel like my mental health needed that. Yeah. How about you, Garrett?
Yeah, I can't think of anything that I'm particularly looking forward to that's coming out, because I also just haven't really been looking all that much. But I have been playing, trying to finish my original run of Kentucky Route Zero.
Nice.
It's just a totally just very interesting game. Been trying to like read more this year, and that felt like it was, enough of checking that box. I'm a Twin Peaks fan also, and it like hits that same kind of.
That's. I need to get back and finish that one too. It was pretty good what I played so far.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like from a music standpoint, it does like kind of a like field recording, like Alan Lomax type of thing with the way the like folk tunes are played in it. It's like, it just does a lot of really interesting things. And like, even like it has like these scenes of being like in a art exhibit that kind of, it makes you feel like the game is kind of saying something about like media and as in like the vehicle in which something is delivered, like, whether it be like a tape recorder or a TV or, anything like that. And it feels like it's a very nice world to kind of just dive into on like a long train ride or an afternoon or whatever. It's pretty cool. And it's, I just find myself kind of captivated by that game pretty often.
Very cool.
You mentioned that you were approved for the Switch. Are there any PlayStation plans for the game?
Oh yeah, PlayStation as well. We got PlayStation and Switch around the same time. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it for full release, but PlayStation 5 and Switch, we're hoping sometime 2026.
Switch 2 a potential, a dedicated Switch 2 version, or just focus on standard Switch?
The standard Switch for now. Nintendo is like pretty protective of Switch 2, and I think as a like new fresh dev studio, they don't seem to be biting for us. So we'll see. We'll keep at it though, because especially if we get it working on Switch, it should be good for Switch 2.
Yeah, that would. I feel like this on the Switch 2 would be awesome. But it's Steam Deck verified, yes?
Yep. I test a lot on the Steam Deck just because it's easy to basically upload a build and then I can play it anywhere, and it's helped me so much being able to playtest RBA that much easier.
We're gonna have to get Purnell this game so he could play it on Steam Deck. He loves his Steam Deck. He carries that thing with him everywhere. He used to be a Switch guy until the Steam Deck arrived. Oh, man.
So you mentioned Hades earlier. What other sort of inspirations went into the game? I got like an Enter the Gungeon vibe. What?
Yeah. It started out as a like Binding of Isaac heavily influenced, I would say. Like the original, like we have some like original video of the gameplay of it somewhere buried in my hard drive, but it like the camera would lock to a single room, and when you would go into a new room, the camera would lock to that room, scroll over and lock to that room, and it was I think a lot of the beginning pitches were like Binding of Isaac but twin stick was like how we were describing it, and then we even wanted to throw in some like FTL where that was like part of that like space planning that you had where you can kind of plan your different dungeon routes, and then we had like different events and things like that. But yeah, Hades dropped, and we were able to kind of pull some systems and inspiration from that, and it was kind of cool to see certain stuff that we were working on. All of a sudden, Hades came out of early access, and it's like, oh yeah, some of these systems work, so we felt more confident about it. And then Enter the Gungeon gets brought up a lot, which like totally makes sense, and I love that game. I think though I played more like Nuclear Throne, which I think is like more inspiration for Enter the Gungeon too. And Nuclear Throne has like more, I would say, like claustrophobic maps and dungeons, and the combat tends to be really fast on Nuclear Throne, and that was like kind of more of the goal with RBA.
Very cool.
M317 in chat says that they love the achievement name puns. What inspired some of them?
A lot of it is, I mean, it's just kind of dumb jokes that tend to get out of control, and then we end up just like putting it into the game. And yeah, some of it is a bit more based in, I would say, like the setting, the story of, there tends to be a like a person behind the bear that is the story around it is, we're not super explicit with it, but the idea is like you're kind of following this person over time and their growth, and they may start out younger, or they are starting out younger as like kind of a kid in the beginning, and then as you complete and beat bosses, you kind of see the growth in them in certain journal entries and things like that. So part of that is like as you're growing up and you're like introduced to different terms and different life ideas and themes, like how do you view those? How do you interpret those and experience those? And so part of them were puns, like literally interpreting different things like that, or different ideas, or figuratively. I think we got to play around with it a lot more through that lens, which was really fun.
I'm looking at the achievement list, and I'm looking at the unlock ratios on Xbox. Your speedrun achievements have been conquered. Many things have been conquered. There are 2 achievements that I want to know, maybe a little too far. Kill 20,500 enemies. No one has that one yet. And then spend 207 inspiration points. No one has that one.
That one might, the inspiration one, it might be a bug, and we've been trying to look into it and track it down. The other one though, that one may be adjusted. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I did unlock that one fair and square, not through Xbox, but through Steam, just through my own playtesting. So it can be done. It's definitely more for the
It can
the
be done if you playtest it for months straight.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the achievement for who was ever playing it a lot. So, but it may be
the heavily dedicated ones.
Yeah, it might be a little bit out of reach. So,
are there any achievements that you might add to the game?
I think that's totally a possibility. I know we're going to be coming in with some updates, and we'll have a more, I would say, like bigger update around the time we drop for Switch and PlayStation. But yeah, I definitely won't count it out for sure.
Like, would DLC be like a thing in the future, or no?
probably say no to that. I mean, I'll never count it out, but I think RBA as it stands will address some feedback issues, and then we'll have maybe some 1 or 2 content updates with like a bigger one with Switch and PlayStation, and see how that goes. But I don't imagine like anything particular like DLC or anything like that at this point.
So no hat packs.
No hat packs. I would just
horse
put
armor.
that in. Yeah, I would just put that into. I like the horse reference. I think I would just put that into an update. You know, I'm not really a fan of doing like that as a DLC pack or anything like that.
Fair. I mean, like I just thought of like a Brotato. They did some DLC for it, and thankfully it wasn't horse armor. Like it was actually worthwhile playing. You know, so
Sure.
So, what is in the future for the studio? What's next for Daylight Basement?
Yeah, the big thing we're doing right now is the porting to Switch and PlayStation. And then we've got ideas in the pipeline. We're experimenting with them like as we speak, actually. And yeah, we should see hopefully another title from us is the idea. So
Cool.
I have a feeling it will be very different than RBA. But
Romance Simulator. Okay, got it.
You got it. Who leaked the info to you?
I want to know, how did you come up with the studio name? Like, I know what a Daylight Basement is, but why did that end up as your name?
That was actually from Mike, the other dev on the project. He was listening. So I believe the story goes, and hopefully I'm not getting it wrong, but he was listening to an interview from one of his favorite bands, and I don't remember the band. And they kept talking about Daylight Basement Studios or something like that. And I think at some point he's just like, that's a cool sounding name. And then he shot it over to me when we were thinking about names, and I was like, I like it. It's kind of unique and out there. And and then we threw a hot dog as the logo because that makes sense. And so
that leads me to another hard-hitting question. Why is there a toaster for the save load icon in the game?
The toaster is like my favorite weapon, and so I think that's how that ended up. I think actually even Mike put that in, but hopefully he knows that's my favorite weapon. So, and that shout out, that's to a fan. A fan came up with the idea of that weapon. We were at a con, and he was like, "It would be really cool if I could just shoot a toaster." And I was like, "That does sound kind of dope." And so it ended up being my favorite one. So
Beautiful. So you mentioned going to conventions. What are some of your favorites?
MagFest. I don't know if you've heard of MagFest.
Oh yeah.
No, have you ever heard of MagFest?
By chance, I have.
I've now learned what a MagFest Lumberjack is.
Yeah, Lumberjack.
Thanks for thanks for teaching me that. Yeah, MagFest might be my favorite.
Pre-show, just casually, you mentioned, have you heard of MagFest? And that's the question I ask every developer. Have you heard of MagFest? And you're the first one to beat me to it.
It's my favorite con. That's why I always bring it up. And you were mentioning another con that looked like it was based around gaming music. I was like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I think you're on the East Coast. I was like, have you been to MagFest? And learned that you have. You've attended.
Adore MagFest. It's crazy to see how it's gone from like 300 people to 25,000 sellouts.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a wild thing to perceive over time. It's my favorite, especially showing there, because so like you first get pitched MagFest as a developer. They're like, hey, we've got this like judging process, and oh, by the way, like if you do get accepted, your booth's going to be there 24/7. Players are going to be coming around. You can have your booth run 24/7. You don't have to, but like we recommend it because a lot of people will play like 3 a.m, stuff like that. And it's like, that's so intimidating as a developer. You're like, oh my God, like how do I set up the game if it crashes, things like that. And like we go and we attend, and like I think I have everything set up, and then 5 o'clock comes around. I forget whenever the time ends that you have to. You're mandatory have to be on the show floor. And compared to other cons, it's like when the time ends, you got to go back to the hotel, and like that's about it. You're usually shot for the day, and you just kind of want to like rest and recharge. But MagFest ends, and it's like, oh, we can still go around the con and enjoy it and have fun. So it's like, go back to the hotel room, recharge real quick, and then go back to a concert, go play some other people's games. And it just turned out to be like one of my favorite ones to attend, just because I'm able to experience the con itself compared to other ones we have to show at. So great people, great community. Just the idea that you're like walking through the halls and then bands just appear out of nowhere. People just form these like weird band. I don't know. It's such a unique experience. So
what are some of your favorite bands?
Just like in general or from MagFest?
From MagFest.
I don't even know if I can name anything in particular. Like we saw Bit Brigade last time, which was like awesome. That is like in itself, just having someone basically speedrun the game and then like also play the game to certain music cues in itself is such an interesting way to convey like a performance and like the art of like playing a game itself. But like in terms of like other bands or artists or anything like that, I have no idea. Like I just was there and experiencing it and taking it all in. So
I can give you a list of bands to check out.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember when the one time I went, This Place is Haunted did that with Castlevania.
Oh, cool.
At the same time, like that was pretty awesome. This Place is
Haunted hasn't been heard from in a long time. I miss that band. Are you familiar with Metroid Metal?
No.
Oh, you should check them out.
Okay.
We know the guy.
Okay.
He does pinball reviews for us.
Oh, cool.
It's crazy. Like I've been going to MagFest for so long that I've become friends with so many of the artists there and so many of the people that attend that like I'll do a panel. Me and a couple of the other lumberjacks will do a panel every year at MagFest, just talking about like the older days of MagFest and our some of our early memories and crazy stuff that happened before we went to the Gaylord. And my favorite part of my panel has been, who can I get there that no one would expect? Like I've had Grant Henry from Metroid Metal on there multiple times. I had Tony Dickinson of the Tiberian Sons and is also the bass player for Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Just join us on stage for the hell of it.
That's so cool.
Matthew, the guy who makes the Botchamania videos, joined us this year. Why? Because he was there.
Yeah, why not?
Like, why not?
I mean, you do bring up another great point. Like I forgot about with MagFest is that the panels and the sessions are actually they can be so unhinged in a good way or so a little off the wall in a good way. I went to one not this last one, but the previous one. It was like the history of YouTube poop, and it was crazy. It was like I thought it was. I mean, it was filled with memes, obviously, and I thought it was going to be a little bit more gimmicky, but it was actually like pretty thoughtful and like actually talked about the evolution of like certain culture on the internet. And it was a little bit wild to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I was there for that. And like, it was a crazy talk, but yeah.
I will always and forever love MagFest. You guys going to go next year?
I think we'll try. Yeah. Maybe with a new title.
Show off something new there.
Yeah. Maybe. Is it something far enough in development to show off that you've been
spitballing, or is it still in like the idea stages?
Definitely more the idea. I've got like a prototype that like I've only played and maybe one other person has like looked at, but I think if generally things start like panning out to be more playable, like MagFest timeline totally could work. The timeline could work out for that. So
very awesome. When you did go to MagFest, were you at the Gaylord or were you at an outside hotel?
We've done the Gaylord each time. It's just as showing up to your booth. It's just like so easy to be able to just take the elevator down and then just arrive
I love
there.
Being in the Gaylord. Oh yeah. I can't imagine going and not being in the Gaylord anymore.
Yeah, it's so yeah. We last time we went, we just like woke up to literally an orchestra that was playing Baldur's Gate 3 music, and it was such a weird moment, literally waking up to just to the freaking theme song of Baldur's Gate. You're like, what angelic shit is this? And you're like, why does this sound so familiar? And then as you're waking up,
beautiful alarm I've ever had.
Exactly. You're like waking up, you're realizing what's happening, and you're like, what the fuck?
I love MagFest. I'm so happy that someone came on the show and asked me about MagFest. That makes me so happy because none of the developers have heard about it.
Oh,
because it's
MagFest,
not really known as a developer convention. It's more of like just a weekend party, and that's the identity that it has. But the indie showcase room is so good, and there's so many great games that we've seen there.
Yeah, we know some of the judges, and we know, I mean, a lot of the like we've met so many good friends from MagFest, developer friends. They're pretty rigorous with their judging. So like the games that are there are usually of I would say like a particular quality. And then the other cool thing that they do, I mean, it kind of sucks for us, but like I totally respect it, is they at some point the judging becomes more harsh for repeat games there, so they constantly have I would say like fresh indie games coming through. And you know, it's not a lot of repeats, but I totally respect their process. They're great folks over there, and the indie community of devs there are actually pretty close, so it's kind of cool being able to meet and chat with them and be able to ask for help if you need anything. And I think it just kind of embodies a lot of what I've seen at MagFest so far with the community. So it's neat. Recommend.
Very awesome.
You should go.
I'll look into it. I'll check it out. It sounds fun. Sounds fun.
I make a weekend of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll do a day pass. They do day passes, right?
Parking won't be an issue.
Oh man, I know we've been chatting for quite a while. Is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about that we didn't bring up?
I don't have anything in particular. It's been fun hanging out.
Garrett, anything on your end?
Again, you're asking me a question to think of a question, and I'm lost.
I am sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's twice. It's twice now.
Sorry.
Great. Now we're blackballed.
Damn it again. This is what happens when I have interviews. Jacob, any final questions on your end?
No, I think we covered all the standard stuff.
Bri, you got anything left?
I have several questions, actually. They're all about Paul Stapleton. What is the deal with him? Why is he helping? How does he also transdimensionally appear wherever Barry is? Or is that something you learn at the end of the game?
Paul, you never learn more about Paul. Paul is Paul. Okay. Paul, in reality, is a stuffed that is in a toy box somewhere. But maybe beyond that, he's everywhere. He's everything. He's you. He's me. He's an interesting guy. Paul's an interesting guy.
He's just a friendly neighborhood fox, though.
He's just a friendly neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We, I think like early on, we were talking about like what's the writing persona for Paul Stapleton, and we were like, I think I pitched something like he's slightly unhinged to the point that like if you're out at a restaurant with someone or with Paul and he like called the waiter over, you would be a little bit uncomfortable. Like, is he about to like say something bad? And it always ends positive, but you always have this feeling. You're like, I don't know what he's about to say to the waiter. That's the vibe Paul gives off. So.
All right. Well, that was my question.
Follow-up question for Bri. What the fuck?
I just was really curious about Paul Stapleton. I mean, he's a cool character.
All right. That's fair. Last question on my end is, where can people keep up to date with you and what you guys are doing? Give us all the info on where we can find you.
For us, the easiest way is if you go to rbagame.com. In the top right, there's a like socials tab, and that brings you to literally everything. Our Twitter, I will never call it X, Blue Sky.
We actually killed our Twitter page.
Yeah, it makes sense. We're thinking about it. And then Instagram, I think too. Yeah, join our Discord. We've, like I said, kind of fairly chatty community. That's the easiest way to keep up with us. I know Garrett's got some socials. He's got his music that he wants to share with the world.
Yeah, if you just Google my name, like Garrett Rose Music, you'll probably find most of my stuff. That my website is just garrettrose.com. I think I'm on Blue Sky and Instagram mostly. Also on streaming services if you want to listen to the soundtrack. Currently, I only have the early access soundtrack on there. I think I'm going to put the full version up probably around the time that PAX East happens. I don't really know. I guess it's kind of arbitrary for me to do it that way, but that's probably when I'm going to get to it. I got some other stuff that I do. Like I'm in a band called Standby from Connecticut. So if you like when the music gets louder, it generally sounds more like my band. Just keep looking at my stuff if you want to see what I'm working on next. I'm working on another game with a studio that also likes hot dogs and sausages. So I guess that's my theme.
Whatever works, right? I mean, you gotta follow your heart.
Something about how it's made. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Chris and Garrett, it has been an absolute pleasure having you two on the show. The game is Rightfully Beary Arms. It is available on Xbox right now. How much is it?
$9.99.
Why should people buy it?
Because teddy bears shooting things, it's kind of fun.
Old.
Perfect. Everyone stick around. We are going to take a quick break. We will be back with more show. Before we do say goodbye to you guys, should we give away a copy of your game in chat?
Absolutely.
Let's give away a copy of Rightfully Beary Arms to Raider Biz. Just won a copy of the game. So congrats to you, Raider Biz. I will get you the code in just a moment. Thank you to Chris and Garrett for donating the key. Air horn all up in this bitch. I love our soundboard. Our soundboard is very dangerous. I don't know if you guys use the Discord soundboard, but
I'm looking through. You guys got
a lot of stuff in it. It
abuses
it.
I watch wrestling with some friends, and we filled his soundboard. It overflows into mine, and then we have like 5 other soundboards that we've made for it.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep making Discords to have 8 more sound clips.
It's unbelievable!
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Another big thanks to the Rightfully Beary Arms team at Daylight Basement for coming on, chatting with us. Somehow Jacob turned into Aki. Aki, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Did you murder Jacob?
Maybe?
Don't tease us if you didn't do it.
Fine, I didn't. I just hit him in the nuts really hard. Okay, God.
Look more like Grover.
Good. Grover's one of my favorite Muppets.
There you go, Aki.
Well, injury is
Now
definitely
you
a
know it's
Muppet, so there you go.
Now I want to see Bri as a Muppet with like the floppy head. I want me as a Muppet with the floppy head. I would love to get a Joe Cam Muppet.
I'm sure there was probably a Muppet on Crank Yankers that looked something like you, Joe. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, there had to be at one point.
And Avenue Q probably has one that looks somewhat like Bri somewhere.
Oh, man. So anyway, we got more show we got to take care of. We got some news to tackle, some reviews we got to tackle. Jacob will be here again at the end of the show to wrap up with a couple of reviews of his own. As you could tell, this show has been stapled together from various recordings, and I don't even care. How's that sound?
All right.
That sounds like you care entirely too much already.
I do. I really do. By the way, we will be reviewing... people have wanted me to like announce the lineup at the top of the show. So tonight's lineup, we're going to be looking at Sands of Aura, Hunt the Night, Captain Puff McFly, One Button Games, 5-in-1 Volume 4, and then Jacob will be taking a look at Arcade Archives 2, Adventure Canoe, and the new DLC for NBA Bounce. So that is what we have in store later in this episode. But right now, if you are hanging out in chat, you could type enter to get a shot at winning Captain Puff McFly, courtesy the studio MVCAO Studios, who sent us an extra copy to give away to you fine folks in the crowd. So get your entries in, and if you're listening to this on YouTube or MP3, you know the drill. Fucked up.
I don't know any drills.
Then you fucked up too.
Oh, well. Not the first time it's happened.
Nope.
It won't be the last either, I hope.
No, you'll fuck up a lot. Probably a bunch
Good.
this episode.
Probably.
I mean, you already did because you missed the first half.
I was there, you just didn't see it because it was in spirit. Like it always is. I was just cheering you on. Y'all just didn't notice because I was very, very quiet. That's all.
I like when you messaged me later that day and you were like, I thought it was later.
Yeah. I thought it was like an hour or so before the show started.
No.
The time period. I was expecting like, oh, maybe 8 o'clock, just on a weird fucking day, whatever. What?
No, had to work with their schedules, so.
I did work with their schedule, as you saw.
Yeah, you worked with it great.
Yeah.
Enter for the last person to wear a tux today.
Hey.
I think I have an idea who qualifies for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jacob does, because he got married to... No. He renewed his vows.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really fun chat. Rightfully Beary Arms is on Xbox right now for only $10. It is absolutely worth picking up.
Yeah.
But we got news for other stuff that people have got to pick up. PlayStation Plus monthly games for March were announced with PGA Tour 2K25, Slime Rancher 2, Monster Hunter Rise, and the Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road Collection.
That is pretty cool.
ESO kind of, like, I don't know. Why? I thought that was free to play, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the expansions cost money, and the Gold Road Edition has like a good amount of expansions with it. That was the one that I reviewed for the show, and it's got some really good content in there, including a trilogy of good storyline. So,
remember when Xbox used to give us free games?
and
now they give PlayStation free games.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts my soul.
Hey, that Elder Scrolls Online is their game. They've given away some other Bethesda stuff. They gave away Doom, Fallout.
Oh, my soul hurts.
Why? I know how to make your soul really hurt.
Don't.
Sony announced that Wolverine is launching exclusively for PS5 on September 15th.
Yeah. It's an I was hoping they were going to bring that to...
I have some more bad news.
Exclusive. Yeah.
I have some more bad news because there are rumors that Sony is looking at ending their first-party single-player games on PC.
Yeah, they might do it, but they're going to walk that bitch right back eventually.
I don't know. It's like people with Xbox saying with the new people in charge are exclusives coming back, and they're like, well, the plan is the plan till it's not the plan.
Yep, that was a quote. Yeah.
That was the dumbest fucking thing. Yeah, but see, I think of it this way. Sony and Microsoft, they both like to make money. Now, yes, you make 100% of the money sold on your own thing, but once you've tapped those people out, guess what? They ain't buying it because they've already bought it. So how can you make more money? Oh, port it to Steam. And whilst you get only 70% of the funds there, you have a whole slew of more assholes like me who will buy it, who otherwise wouldn't have bought it. You're still making more money. So they might decide to go away from Steam with their first party, but they'll go right back there eventually. They like money. Everyone likes money. They're corporations. It's going to happen.
Yeah, but Sony likes attention more, and if they keep the focus on their console, then they get all the attention instead of Steam getting attention.
Maybe.
So, yeah. Marvel is teaming up with Konami in limited run for Marvel Maximum Collection. It'll be hitting the Switch, PS5, PC, and thank fucking God it's going to hit Xbox Series X and S. No release date has been announced yet, but 13 game versions across 6 titles are included, including Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage for Super Nintendo and Genesis, Venom and Spider-Man Separation Anxiety for Super Nintendo and Genesis, Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge for Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Boy, and Game Gear. Interesting. Silver Surfer for the NES, Captain America and the Avengers for Arcade, NES, and Genesis. And then the big one that everyone's excited about, X-Men, the arcade game with 6-player online.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Also, was one of those named Separation Anxiety?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I was not expecting that. I heard that and I was like, what? That kind of screwed up my ability to think for the rest of the names because I was just focused on that. Okay.
Oh, don't pretend like you had an ability to think in the first place.
I do. It's just like the two brain cells just have to occasionally collide and there's a lot of empty space. It happens. It's just, it takes a while.
Yeah. Something that got announced last week that we completely missed out on with all the other big news, but Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red are getting a Switch re-release tomorrow. They run $20 each. They will be sold in 3 separate languages, I guess, due to how they were originally manufactured. So if you want the English version, make sure you buy the English version. If you want the Spanish version, don't buy the French version. They are 3 separate releases. Make sure you pay attention.
Why can't they just have language packs? That annoys me.
Because of how they were originally produced, is their claim.
Okay, well, every remake and remaster that's ever existed is different from how it was originally made. They can fucking do better.
This isn't a remake or a remaster. This is a port. This is just running the ROM. They could put these on NSO if they wanted. They're just ROMs.
Okay.
But they're selling them for $20 because they can. And they are already at the top of the sales charts. So people want them. I'll say it took them fucking long enough. They could have done this years ago for double the price and they still would have made bank. But Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. I was kind of hoping Jacob would be here for this because he was excited about this game. It has sold over 100,000 copies in the first 4 days of launch, according to publisher Daedalic, making it one of the best debuts ever for the company.
Nice.
I love hearing success stories when it's like, we sold 100,000 and that's great for our company, as opposed to we sold 7 million and we're shutting you down.
Yeah, it's always nice when competency wins out against corporate greed, yeah.
Yeah. King of Meat from Amazon Games is shutting down April 9th. All purchases will be refunded.
Damn.
Yeah, I actually had some related news, if you don't mind me going in there, because they also recently announced the shutdown of New World Eternum. This is Amazon. And they also had an open world racing game from Maverick Games, made up from a bunch of former Forza Horizon devs. And they also have released them from their publishing arm. And Maverick Games is now, the game's not necessarily going to be canceled, but they're going to have to find a new publisher and likely some funding. So Amazon Games Division is doing some stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on over there.
Yeah.
New World Eternum bums me out because that was a really fun game. Like, I enjoyed my time with it. I was looking forward to going back after it had some expansions and extra content. And now I have to return to finish if I want to play anymore because it's going to go away in January?
Something like that, yeah.
I hate this online shit that just disappears.
Mm.
Speaking of, Warface Clutch is getting shut down May 27th on PC, August 25th on console.
Mm.
Yay.
I forgot that even existed.
Yeah, most people did. Last bit of news that I have is that Red Octane officially unveiled Stage Tour. It is a new Rock Band-styled rhythm game set to launch this fall. And I will be honest, the trailer was pretty fucking bad. It focused on character models that did not look that great. It had very little actual highway gameplay footage. And there was only one Static X song in the trailer.
Damn.
It was a disappointing trailer. I hope more news comes out. Would have been great to have the first 10 songs revealed or something like that. But I don't know. The charts looked okay. The gameplay looked okay. How Guitar Hero would have the characters that you would watch in the background. And then in Rock Band, you could create your own. In this, I don't know if they're create or pre-made, but they were not good looking. And they put so much focus on them.
Mm.
I still don't know if I even want to get into it.
Fair.
I mean, unless they find some way, I don't know how they could legally do it, to incorporate Rock Band DLC. I don't think I could realistically get involved in another rhythm game from scratch. I don't think I could do it.
I don't think you really need to. Have you even gold starred all of those songs yet? Or whatever the hell it is, perfected them?
No, because I'm not that good.
Get better, you can do it. There you go. You may never need another rhythm game. You only have 5,000 songs on that one.
When I fucked up my ring finger on my left hand years ago trying to help replace a tire on a lawnmower, I have never been able to play Rock Band the same.
Damn.
Sucks.
And then last year when I tore my bicep, I have played maybe an hour of Rock Band since then because it hurt too much.
Yikes.
What up, K4? Yeah, we got an early show tonight. I'm not feeling the best, so we're just trying to rush through. You missed it, Carnage. We were just talking about King of Meat. Did you play that? I know you might be doing some kind of giveaway sometime. Is there any news on that, Carnage? Give him a second to reply. He played it and enjoyed it. So, well, you have until April to play it. So, might want to do that.
Go get that 100%, yo.
Aki, what news do you have?
Oh, I actually have one single piece this time. NatCon is filing for insolvency. One of their shareholders apparently didn't make a payment on a loan, and it has fallen to them, so they're filing for insolvency to hopefully restructure their debts so they don't have to just close.
Yeah. Insolvency is not quite the same as bankruptcy is in the US. Insolvency is a little different. It offers some legal leniency in paying their debts. And that restructuring is kind of proof of what they're doing to the government so that they don't have to shut down. So
yeah. I'm glad you understood more of this, because I didn't fully get it. Even reading the article, I didn't fully understand. But one of their major shareholder has like almost 60% of the business or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, they missed a payment for some loan, and it apparently kicked NatCon right in the balls. Don't really understand how that works, but yeah. And for me, that's, I'm conflicted. On one hand, obviously, I like a lot of what NatCon publishes, because they happen to publish a whole bunch of the more AA and indie games that I really, really like. But if any of y'all remember a whole big kerfuffle with Frogwares and their publisher trying to steal Sinking City from them, yeah, that was NatCon. So yep. I'm very conflicted, because I really like a lot of the games they publish. They're so good. But they really screwed over
games they publish. We just got Styx. March 10th is Greedfall. March 16th is Dragonkin the Banished. 3 games in a month. All from NatCon.
Yeah. And because of this, people aren't fully sure if all of those are even going to come out. I would imagine they would, but I don't know.
To my knowledge, from I asked, and I don't know if this is off the record or just hearsay or what, but things should at least be going forward for Greedfall and Dragonkin.
Okay, good, because I really didn't want to miss Greedfall, because
I don't want to miss Dragonkin. That one looks fucking awesome.
Oh, you'll love that one. You will love that game. That was 100% made for you, whereas Greedfall 2 was 100% made for me. So yeah, that was all my news. Was just their filing for insolvency.
Dragonkin looks like a pretty badass Diablo-like.
Yeah, that's why it's totally going to be a game for you.
All right, Bri, what do you have? I like how me and Bri talked that she was going to cover the NatCon stuff, and Aki's like, surprise, bitches, I got it.
Yeah,
it's NatCon, of course I had that.
Mouse PI for Hire got another delay, and it is now coming out on April 16th. It had a March release that it was delayed to, and getting pushed a little further.
That was the black and white one that was very reminiscent of old Mickey Mouse cartoons, right?
Yep.
Okay, I thought that was already out, actually, so that's okay.
Nope, it is still coming.
No, that is what's the one that looked like it?
Bad Cheese.
Bad Cheese, that's right.
I will look that up.
Bad Cheese was like a horror with spiders with little sneakers on.
I will not look that up. Never mind.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to warn you. Yeah. Discord is pushing out their age verification rollout for sometime in the second half of this year. They promise more transparency with intended processes and vendors. They also will offer more options for verifications, such as credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
As that affects a lot of gamers, I figured I would mention that because that came up on my feed this week.
I still don't know what to think of all this with Discord.
Yeah, well, we have a little more time to plan. It's not happening in March now.
Yeah.
So, which is like a week away, if even.
Like, I don't want to go back to Skype because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, there's a whole bunch of them now.
Is Gilded still out there? I don't know.
We're going to TeamSpeak, guys.
Yeah,
that is actually one of them. Lots of people suggest.
Yeah,
I hate my life.
It's just you need to find something that a lot of people have and can use and can get access to. Because if you're doing interviews, you need to make it easy for them to join.
Exactly.
Like there were times when doing Skype interviews was a bitch and a half.
Oh yeah.
Skype made things very hard for us for a very long time, but yeah. What else you got, Bri?
Roblox has hired a new person coming from Lego Fortnite to be in charge of their parent concerns. And this new person has basically blamed everything on the parents, saying that they've done everything they can as a company. And I'm not even a parent, and this shit pisses me off. There's pretty much no safeguards for kids. The company won't do anything about it, even though they're making tons of money. It specifically has no age guards, so skeevy adults have like a huge selection of kids to talk to, and it's kind of scary stuff.
Well, there's not only that, but there's an entire whole thing where they were specifically making like sexual stuff and putting it up there for everybody to get into, and it was specifically targeting kids. And
you know how that makes me feel?
Angry. Yeah, and what's worse is someone else, just an independent dude who happens to shut the fuck up, who happens to understand. Okay, that one almost made me laugh. So there was a guy an independent dude, not related to the company at all, created a big old list that parents could basically download, and it blocked all those places because they were easy to find. And the company threatened to sue him if he didn't get rid of it.
Yeah.
So he had to take it down.
Exactly.
That is how the company has protected children.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just kind of one of those things. Like, it doesn't personally affect me, but I don't know. It worries me that they've hired this new person to cover parent concerns about exactly these sorts of things going on, and basically they're all like, not our fault, it's all on you.
Yeah,
so
it's bullshit.
That was a tactic. Yeah.
I know people are like, well, the parents have to step in somewhere. Yes, but the company can still put safeguards in place to not be a scumbag company.
They want to be a scumbag company, though.
Well, they're making money hand over fist. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Do we want to talk about Xbox?
We could.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing new. I'm sure everybody's already heard about it, but Asha Sharma, the new person in charge, I'm assuming I'm saying that right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Has gone on record saying that it is incredibly important to protect players' investment in Xbox. And I think that feels like a good confidence statement to put out there. That they're not necessarily planning to sunset things. I'm also the optimist here, so
yes,
I'm going to say that I'm hopeful that we're going to see some interesting changes and whatever. Also, this week it was put out that a lot of people internally apparently were really not happy with the "This is an Xbox" campaign.
No, they were not.
Who was?
Yeah.
No one liked that campaign. That campaign sucked.
And back to our new head of Xbox, she put out a brand new gamer tag this last week, and then it was later revealed that it was played on by her whole family. So they've since gotten new tags supposedly, and all the cool games she might have played on her tag were not necessarily of her own doing. But that was an interesting quick scramble. It's even registered on True Achievements. So either they're in the know or someone gave them a tip to do that.
I think it's funny as fuck that she broke their own TOS by sharing the account with multiple people.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my little bit of Xbox news. I have one last thing. Movie watch.
Oh man, you gotta warn me with this shit. I don't have the fucking.
Give me a second.
I'm getting there.
It's movie watch.
There. You beat me.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. The BioShock movie got a little more update on its release window. Apparently, the director had other obligations that have delayed production into maybe sometime in the middle of 2027. This is supposedly also when we might see the release of a BioShock 4 game. So that's interesting.
I am okay with all of this information because it just gives me more BioShock. That is, I fucking love that series.
Very cool. That's all I got.
All right. Jacob, what news do you have? I'm not here.
Yay!
Should we dive into some reviews? We have a handful we got to talk about tonight.
Let's do this.
All right, let's start things off with Hunt the Night, developed by Moonlight Games, published by Dangen Entertainment, released February 26th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $19.99. Hunt the Night is a retro-style action RPG that blends fast, skillful combat with dark fantasy lore. Play as Vesper, a member of the Stalkers, and traverse the ruined world of Medram on a mission to save humanity from a deadly cycle of annihilation. Endure nightmarish overworlds, slash through horrific dungeons, face brutal bosses, and wield an arsenal of powers in a relentless struggle against the night itself. Bri, what is Hunt the Night?
I'm not sure why this ended up on my radar because it's not typically something I go out of my way for, but it has been on my Steam wish list for a good while. This is a top-down action RPG in 16-bit retro style art. It reminded me of things like Castlevania and Dark Souls. Vesper is a stalker. Oh. She's trying to save humanity from the night. In capitalization there, the night. Ooh. There was a time when humanity was being plagued by evil, and the stalkers pushed back the darkness with the help of the Seal of Light, but it wasn't enough. And the night is back, along with all of its nightmarish creatures. You learn more of the story through exploration and found letters and objects, but this kind of gets set up for you a little bit at the beginning. You're in dilapidated castles and dank dungeons, crawling with tentacled eyeballs and inky shadows. The walls blink as you go along. There are candles that light with an eerie glow as you travel through an area to light and show you the way. There's blood splattered all about and body parts and broken weapons strewn everywhere. The color palette is grays and purples and hints of reds and blues and the brown of old wood. And there are arched windows and cobwebs everywhere. It's goth paradise, basically. You save at crow shrines, which replenish your health and some of your ammunition. And then there's also random energy rifts that'll replenish your ammo later on. The game has a fair amount of movement-based challenge. You need to dash across water and gaps. You might need to create platforms to move to. You can dash at any angle you need, but that's also dangerous because you may dash into the water and drown. Or dissolve from evil sludge, maybe? I'm not really sure what the liquid is. Attacking is in all directions as well, and you need to be aiming where you want to hit, which seems really obvious, but there's no aim assist or anything like that. There are puzzles to solve, like figuring out which switches to press, in what order to open a gate, or finding a special eye for a statue that you may need to beat a monster for. Some combat mechanic notes. You use A to dash, which uses up a refillable energy bar. So you can only dash so many times before you're out of energy, or use powers before you're out of energy. It replenishes over time, but the more you're using it, the more you need to replenish. X is to attack, and you get 3 hit combos when you successfully attack in rapid succession. You also move the right stick to enter aim mode, and you can shoot a gun with your right trigger. And melee hits can recharge your guns, as well as recharging them with other methods. I thought that was kind of neat when you're not near a statue or something like that. I mostly use the gun for dungeon mechanics, like shooting eyeballs to turn into platforms. But there were times where I knew I had a rift nearby and that like shooting the enemy was the easier path. So that was a good thing to do. You can also throw grenades using left trigger toward the direction that Vesper is aiming. Again, you gotta actually move the left stick in the direction you want to hit things. And there are different styles of weapons in the game. So you have smaller weapons, which are faster but do less damage. And then you have heavier weapons, which obviously are the opposite, giving you greater damage with slow swings. And then there's some stuff kind of in between, like spears and things like that. And in this, timing is everything on your attacks. You need to learn the different attack patterns for your enemies. And then if you change your weapon types, you'll have to learn that timing all over again for each enemy type.
Yay!
And there are a fair amount of enemy types to learn. There's like these inky little bottom feeders that eat decaying flesh, and you've got armored soldiers and tentacled eyeballs, and sorcerers who fire energy shots at you, and so much more I've yet to discover, I'm sure. And then there are mini bosses and bosses. You have bosses like the Devourer, which is like a demonic direwolf, the Ruin, which is like a pack of xenomorphs, and then Mother, which is just stunningly beautiful. And these fights are longer and have waves you'll need to dodge, and dim lighting you'll need to overcome, and other conditions you'll need to weather. This is an RPG, so you have a menu on start that allows you to upgrade your character, equip weapons, power, and gear. And you can also see parts of the story from the feather memories you collect as you go, which is how you get a lot of the story. The pixel art is freaking fantastic.
Oh my god, is it beautiful?
It is beautiful. There are cutscenes in pixels with gorgeous shading and attention to detail. There's weather effects like lightning. The flame work and lighting is great. Like I'm sitting here with this on the one of the levels right now near a save point, and you can see like Vesper's hair in the darker area looks kind of like whitish with, you know, like a tinge. It's obviously blonde, and you walk near to the lighting, like the flame nearby, and suddenly you can see how bright it gets with like a yellower tone to it, and just the attention to detail in these pixels is great. Where was I? Oh yeah, monster and character sprites are very detailed too. They have excellent movement to them, like Vesper, when she's like her hair moves, it kind of swings around, and when she's standing there waiting, like her hair will kind of flop into her face and she'll move her hand to sweep it away. There's just so many little things like that going on. Audio and music wise, it has great directional audio, creepy effects. It feels really tailored to the environments and not just music on a loop. I would say the soundtrack is hauntingly beautiful, like so cliche as that is, but it really, really is beautiful. And once you finish the game, there is a new Game Plus mode and a Nightmare mode.
Oh no!
Also available,
Nightmare.
Is a Prime Hunts, which I think is a boss rush mode, but I couldn't get far enough into the game to get it unlocked. So I'm not sure what Prime Hunts is, but I would guess based on like the bosses, when you beat one, it says like hunt complete. So I think Prime Hunts is like a boss rush mode. Some negatives. There was some freezing in the beginning of the game during scenes that changed, where there were tutorial pop-ups, when I died, or even when combat started. I'm not sure if this was a problem in the Steam version, but it was definitely noticeable in the Xbox version. It did not persist as much further into the game, but it was right in that tutorial section that I was like, okay, this is not a good start to the game.
I'm trying to think if I ran into that, because I didn't get too far into this, but I got some time with it, and I don't remember that happening to me. I'll have to restart and see if that's an issue.
Yeah. And then there were random periods of time where the menu button just didn't work. I couldn't pause to take notes or answer my phone. or get to my menu to like adjust my gear, and that kind of pissed me off. I'm hoping that these are easily fixable issues and none of them were game breaking. They were just noticeable.
Was it during combat?
No. I was just like moving through an area after I had like hit some enemies, and it happened a couple of times with the pause menu not working. Yeah, it was pretty weird. But yeah, this game is tough. It really relies on player skill to win the game. You need to learn your enemies' patterns, dash, dodge, balancing varying weapon styles, and equip bonuses to give yourself the best chances at success. And even then, you're going to die a lot. It says hunt failed every time you die, and resets you back to your most recent crow statue, replenishing any monsters that you've killed along the way. And that's where it's very clearly that Souls-like game. And yeah. All in all, this was a beautiful game, and it's tough though. You got to be prepared for that.
Now clocks in at $19.99. Give us your thoughts on Hunt the Night.
If you think you're up for a top-down pixel Souls-like, this is something I think you should give a play. If not, I think this is still worth at least a look at. This game was tough for me, and I wanted to get better at it and discover all its glorious and gory secrets. I would say the couple issues give me a little pause, but for this price, I'm still going to give it a buy it.
Very good. Next up, Sands of Aura, developed by Chashu Entertainment, I think. Published by Indie.io, released February 26th. Series X and S, Switch, and PS5 for $24.99. For generations, the righteous few have endured. You are one of those few. On the eve of your induction into the Order of Remnant Knights, the last protectors of man, Talamel is once again racked by calamity. The corruptive nature of the Night Plague is mutated, and the realm of man needs the Remnant Knights more than ever. Track down the emergent evil and destroy it. Protect the realm of man. Aki, what about the realm of woman?
It's already been wrecked. So yeah, in this, you play as a young knight in training, and this world is basically a sandy shithole filled with monsters and corruption that gets into water and mutates people into more monsters. Yay! Ain't this world just fantastic? And you know, you're in this tiny city that's in the middle of a desert, like every other city seems to be. But this isn't just a desert you can walk on. This is a desert that's like liquid sand. It is all quicksand, and it is quicksand. So you have to ride on boats from place to place. And yeah, you first start off in a cavern, because you need to get to the cistern to unlock it and bring some water to the city because they've run out, mostly because they're in the middle of a sandy shithole. And yeah, you quickly find out there's monsters down here. You have to fight your way through them to go get to the water, and oh, would you look at that? Something was drinking the water and mutated. Oh no, the water's not safe to drink. Time to kill this big bad and empty this bitch, because, you know, that's going to make the townsfolk love you. Where's our drinking water? Oh, I dumped it into the sand. And that's about the kind of welcoming you get, is exactly what you'd expect from dumping an entire city's drinking water into the dusty depths below. And yeah, so you're quickly sent off instead to go and make a deal with a bunch of crazy people that wear masks and dance and somehow summon water or some shit to bring water back to your land. And from there, it just expands as it becomes a larger story. However, the moment you're told you can go do this, you can get onto your boat and you can go fucking anywhere you want. The map is huge. There's all sorts of little tiny islands all around about, which are, I call them islands, but really they're just structures of rock sticking out of sand. And yeah, you can park your boat at almost all of them, not quite all of them. And there's stuff to explore around there, fairly often, at least from what I've seen so far, there's not a whole bunch of people on any of them because they're all, destroyed settlements, and there's usually bosses or something that you can find in there, and you can just fight them for the sake of fuck it, why not? So that's fun.
We're not at the review rating yet. You can't. Never mind.
Okay. And I'm so confused. And all the combat.
Fuck it, why not?
Oh. I don't know how I didn't catch that. Wow. I am brain dead today. And yeah, so the combat in this ends up being kind of Soulsy like. It's all about parrying or dodging out of the way and then running in and hitting, because everything in this kind of hits like a fucking truck being slammed into your face over and over. And yeah, if you die, you lose the money that you made from killing things, and you have to go collect it. And if you die before you collect it, it's just gone, because fuck you. There is kind of a problem with that, is there's a lot of places where you have to kind of get yourselves out of bounds to go collect resources and stuff. There's not always a way to get back where you were safely, so you end up just losing all of your stuff, not knowing you're going to lose it all, in order to try and get some of this resource for upgrading your weapons and armors and stuff. So that's fun, to lose 1,000 plus of your money, and it's just gone forever now because you wanted to go and get what ended up being a common, easy to find material to upgrade your stuff with. Yay, that's fun. Yeah, basically.
In your fucking face.
And the problem with the concept of losing 1,000 of it is most of my fights I've managed to get upwards of at most 40 at a time. So when I lost 1,000 plus, I had a lot of anger, especially when items, because you use this to buy stuff, some of those items can get upwards of $5,000. So, it only takes 50 hours to fucking farm this shit. And I'm even talking bosses. I fought bosses and only got 100 or so.
Ugh.
So it's yeah, so it takes a while to get any money in this, and it is so easy to lose it because the game's oh yeah, you need to jump over this to get over there, collect that resource. Oh, but by the way, there's no way back. You're just going to lose everything now. Hopefully you have the one single item that is a one-use item on you that allows you to teleport back to your area while keeping all this shit. If not, fuck you. So, that was fun.
I'm getting worried about this. This is on my wish list, and it's.
I don't know if you're gonna like
ready
this
to buy,
one.
And now I'm kind of second guessing myself.
Yeah, I generally find the combat okay. It isn't super responsive, sadly. There's a lot of lag between button presses, which kind of sucks for a Souls-like, because it means that it's a lot harder to actually judge when to do your deflects and stuff.
Nah.
So you can do more damage. But overall, I do like the concept behind it. I think they need to put a little more work into it, though.
What would you do to polish it up?
First and foremost, they need to make it more responsive, so when you push the button, things happen a little more quickly. Just that will help significantly in making it to where people can parry things more easily. Maybe give a wider window, give us an option to change the window for parrying or something, because some of them are ridiculously small, especially for boss fights and stuff. Some of the bosses move so fast that it's nigh on impossible to parry it because they're just moving too quick and you can't push the button fast enough. Maybe lock some areas off until you get stronger gear or something, because I walked into some areas where I was one shot almost immediately, and I was oh, well, now I lost all that stuff too. That's fucking great. And give us that item that allows you to go back to the nearest area while keeping all of your money stuff. Just make that not a one-time use item that you need to keep buying more of. Just make it a permanent item, because there's a lot of places. yeah, right now there's a lot of places where you can get stuck and can't get out of right now because they need to work a little more on that as well. So losing all that stuff, because you do have one that'll let you teleport back to the crystal, but it loses all your shit. And that one's the permanent one. So they need to make the other one permanent and just get rid of the one that gets rid of all your stuff until they've more tweaked that stuff out. Those things would make this game significantly better and easily I'll buy it. But right now, it just still needs some more work.
As it stands, $25. I need a verdict.
I think this is a try it. If you really, really like the graphical style and you like Souls-likes, this is easily a try it. Everyone else, you might want to pass on this one, at least for now, at the very least.
Alrighty, so I think this will stay on my wish list for now at least. Sounds like they need to tighten up the graphics on level 3 a little.
Yeah. For you right now, you would not like this game. It would really upset you, I think.
I wonder if anybody got that tighten up the graphics joke.
Nope, not even remotely.
Just Google tighten up the graphics on level 3 and then have fun.
Okay.
Next game to talk about, Captain Puff MacFly, developed and published by MVCAO Studios. Released February 19th, Series X and S for $5.99. The universe is in ruins. A pirate empire from another dimension has decimated every planet in the constellation, leaving only Petunia X-12. Under attack, General Fluffy sees his defenses annihilated, and the last hope rests with the legendary Puff MacFly, leader of the Stellar Fleet. With his ship and combat skills, he must face enemy hordes and save what remains of the galaxy before it's too late. Bri, what is going on in Captain Puff MacFly, the game that MVCAO, I'm going to screw up their name every time, and I'm so sorry, especially because they gave us a code to give away to you fine folks listening. If you are hanging out in chat, make sure to type !enter for your shot. We will give away the code probably in a few minutes, right when Bri's done with her next review and this segment wraps up. So, Bri, what is going on in this game, Captain Puff MacFly?
So, in this retro-style shoot-'em-up, you have to save the world as a cute cat-like creature named Captain Puff MacFly. General Fluffy, so probably a cat, sends us on a mission to save planet Petunia X-12 after a pirate fleet takes out all the other planets in the constellation, and we need to traverse the planet's skies, the watery surface, under the water, and more to save the day.
I have one important question.
Yes.
Do you have a hoverboard in this?
No, you have a hovercraft, like a little spaceship, yeah. It's like a little bubble over it. Yeah. You have very basic controls. Left stick moves you around the screen. Right stick shoots in any direction. It's really helpful because enemies come from all directions. The screen moves horizontally to the right. The lines of enemies come from there mostly, obviously, but they come from other directions as well. Things like homing missiles with faces and pirate skull enemies fly in from all over the place. And then you'll also have things to dodge like rocks and space debris because shooting them seems futile. But you could still shoot at some of the rocks, I guess. They don't break up usually.
No, but they make a pretty green flash.
Yeah. And there are screen bombs in pink that you can pick up that'll blast enemies for one shot. There are enemies with faces you can shoot and break into the space debris, as I kind of mentioned. You have to dodge them though once you kill them. And then there are bosses at the end of each level, like an angry planetoid, a flying pirate ship, stuff like that, because why not? The pixel art was pretty fantastic. It looks a bit modernized, though, to aesthetic rather than programmed in pixel limitations of the past. There are big chunky pixels for the backgrounds and elements like that. And then there's super small ones for larger scaling on, like, the main character. And some of the enemies, like missiles with faces, and some of the effects and stuff are obviously modernized. But the flame work and the movement and shadows and reflection work on the second level, where you're flying over an ocean or something, like that was all fantastic.
I wish I could have seen the second level.
Oh, you didn't make it to the second level?
I can't beat the fucking moon.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
It took me a few tries, for sure.
I think my biggest issue with this game is that it is so random what power up you might get.
Yes. So, yes, I'll talk about that in a second. I want to make note of a couple other things. There are tons of cool things to look at in this game that are really fun, like smoke effects, things coming out of the water and airships flying around in the background. There's like a guy falling in slow time out of the sky, like a pirate. And there's just so many cool things to look at that I found myself dying a lot trying to report on all of it. But yeah, when you lose some money, which is based off the kills you made, and then you go to Death's little store and you have the opportunity to buy a random object to help you in your next run. Some of these stack, which is nice. So if you die, you may have clone powers left in the bank, and you'll still have them the next run with your purchased bomb. Or instead, you can get a slow time button unless you already have a skill in that right trigger slot. And so you get these skills you can buy on the right trigger, and it is random, though, what you get to choose from the store.
Yes.
Each run.
Like, I never want to buy anything because maybe the next time will be something actually more useful than making me invisible, which didn't do shit because everything followed me anyway.
Yeah, I like the slow time. I like the clone one. That was pretty helpful. And then the
clone one was great, except for the fact that the cats got old really quick and died.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I ran out of those clones quick.
Another thing to note though about dying is you don't lose your place in the stage. So if you've made it to level 2, you start back on level 2, even if you start the game and stop the game and come back to it. So I like that. And it looks like there's 5 or 6 levels to this game. I made it to level 3.
Damn. PG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the achievements. Not a very high completion percentage yet.
Yeah. There's a good variety of terrain. Like the underwater stages look really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I look forward to learning the patterns and getting through all the levels, and getting the right combination of learning the level and getting the right special equipped. And getting through those bosses. So, yeah.
I love this game for what it is, but I want to love it more for what it's not. Like, I would love to see some kind of permanent upgrade system to this, but that kind of doesn't fit with the concept of the game. I would... Yeah. Well, this doesn't really matter either way, but please let me turn off the fucking CRT filter. Please.
Yeah.
Why are we getting CRT filters we can't turn off?
Yeah,
I don't want curved corners.
Frustrating.
Give me a fucking full picture. And like the reflection in the corners. I hate CRT filters. Let me turn that shit off. Give me options. Does this game have any options?
I don't remember. Let's load it up and see. Because I don't know that I remember checking.
I don't think there's any like main title screen.
No, there really isn't.
There's it's just play. There's no option. Like give us options.
Yeah, play and fire. So yeah.
Carnage says even one button games have an option to turn off the CRT. Funny he mentions that. Captain Puff McFly is $5.99. What do you say at $6?
This felt challenging enough, but still accessible. It's not a super long game, but at that price, why not give it a buy it? I liked it.
I'm gonna lean more on the fuck it, why not? Where
that's fair.
If you got the money, you might as well go for it. But it's going to be a tough one to beat.
Yeah.
So if you're not looking for a challenge, maybe you might want to hold on to that $6, but it's so cheap that fuck, just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Next up, One Button Games 5-in-1 Volume 4, developed by ABBA Games, published by Xitilon. It released February 25th, Xbox One, Series, and PC for $5 each. If you bought a bundle previously, you already own this. 5 games, 1 button, 4th time. Bri, tell us about it.
It's another bundle of games where you only have 1 button to press to play the game. There are 5 games in the bundle. It is very aptly named 1 Button Games 5 in 1, Volume 4. And of course, it's the 4th game in the series. So there's that. All the art is minimalistic pixels with CRT filter and scan lines you can turn off if you want to.
Yay!
But that's the gist of the game. I can go into the individual ones. And Aki, did you play this one too? I don't know.
I played a small amount of it, not a lot.
Okay.
These games just aren't for me. They get moving really quick, and I just can't keep up with them.
Fair.
All right.
Right.
Well,
So the
there's
first one
5
is-
games. Let's go
Yeah.
down the list. The first one is Balls Bombs. Balls Bombs
right.
is a fast-paced 1-button game. Tell us about it.
You press A to run and let go to stop. There are balls bouncing around that you don't want to have hit your little guy unless you have a bomb. You collect the bombs randomly as you go through the game. Not only do you want to stay alive by running or stopping to avoid balls, you want to use the charge bombs to kill large quantities for points. I actually like this game a lot.
Very cool. Next up is Barol, which is a fast-paced 1-button game. What is it?
You're a constant runner in this one, and you use A to jump over barrels that are being thrown at you from the sky. You can also hold the A button to slow down. I had issue with this game not being as responsive to jumps, and I'm not sure if it was because I was holding it just a split second too long, and it was slowing down instead. But you get points every time you jump, and goals include getting points jumping over a number of barrels in one go, or total, and surviving lengths of time. This one was pretty fun.
Yeah, for me, this was probably for me one of the easier ones. Lots of these were really hard for me. This one, whilst difficult, was, I think, one of the easier ones for me.
Fair.
All right. Bamboo is a fast-paced 1-button game. Tell us about it.
In this one, you tap A to turn your little guy in a different direction, and hold to go through some of the growing bamboo. I could not quite understand the rules of this game, but you get some points for tearing down bamboo, but sometimes I die seemingly for no reason.
It's because it reached the top of the screen.
You can and can't hit bamboo at different times, but the rules of that weren't clear to me. Like I said, I didn't like this one because the rules weren't clear.
Let's see.
I
You
just need to
can
play
run
more of
through
it, I
yellow
guess.
bamboo to collect it. When it becomes green, you have to cut up multiple times to stop it, and you don't get any points. Your goal is to stop the bamboo from growing and reaching the top. Game is over when the bamboo reaches the top.
Yeah, the taller they get, when they get
Seemed
tall,
like
they
sometimes
turn
I would
green.
load in and immediately die. Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
I just didn't get that one. Yeah.
Two-Faced is a great Linkin Park song and is also a fast-paced 1-button game. Tell us about it.
In this, you're a little worm. You can tap A to turn and hold to go forward in a line. You get points for hitting a red apple that is bouncing around in one of 2 connected tiles that you kind of teleport through. Seems like the death condition is if your worm hits its tail. So the best strategy I came up with was to kind of rapid tap A to get my worm going in a mostly straight line and hope I hit a red ball. Similar to Bamboo, the rules weren't entirely clear on this one, and meh.
This game's basically Snake, but it's split into 2 screens that aren't connected directly. Like if you go right on one screen, it doesn't mean you're going to pop out on the left side of the other screen still going right. You might pop out from the bottom going up, things like that. But it's basically Snake otherwise. And you're just trying to hit an apple with any part of your body.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
fucking hard.
Last game on there is Light Dark, which is a fast-paced 1-button game. Tell us about it.
You have a dark plane and a light plane on top of each other, and a little character that is constantly running as you jump and fly using the A button to collect coins and dodge spikes. So when you jump, you switch planes, and by holding the button, you fly a little bit instead of just a short jump. Goals include collecting a lot of coins, surviving a certain length of time, getting a high score. The game gets faster the longer you're in a run. This was actually probably my favorite in the collection.
Yeah, this moved so fast. Pretty quickly, it starts moving so fast that I literally couldn't keep up with it.
Damn.
I did not like this one at all. This one and the bomb one were like my two most hated ones by far.
All right, well, let's talk price on this bad boy. It is $5. If you buy it on sale in the first 2 weeks, you could get it for $4. What are your thoughts on this game at $4?
Overall, I like this. There's always a game or two in the bunch I don't like, but I liked this bundle as much as I liked Volume 3. So if you don't mind off-numbered achievements like 18s and you like the previous games,
hell yeah.
Like this too. Yeah.
Joe, you're a monster.
I could give this one a buy it, actually. Even better if you already have one of the previous bundles, you already have this game, go play it.
Indeed.
I think this is a try it. If you really like these games and you can see really well and all that fun stuff, this is probably a really fun game. For me, this isn't my style of game, so for me, it's a try it.
All right, and for the people who are interested in achievements, this is a Xitilon game, so it is available as a triple stack. I know that we are kind of getting away from those, but we got this one previously from other bundles, so it's our duty to cover what we already have. You can buy it for $5 per platform, or you could pay $15 and get all 3 versions of 5-in-1 Volume 4, all 3 versions of Volume 3, all 3 versions of Volume 2, and all 3 versions of Volume 1 for $15. And you get all future games too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the route you realistically should go. Even if you're like, I bought this and I don't particularly always think I'm going to like all these games, just get the whole thing, and just because there's always going to be at least 1 or 2 in each one of them that you're going to like. This is fun.
Yeah, I think $15 to get in on the bundle is absolutely worth doing because of how good Xitilon is with incorporating future releases into existing bundles. Journey to Johan is another one that just got another release that is included in previous bundles, but we don't have a good track record reviewing those Johan games, so I decided not to.
Thank you.
Yeah, I figure none of us have ever been super fond of those.
I've only ever been able to occasionally beat the fucking prologue, like, this is how you play the game level, and I usually spend almost an hour on that.
Yep, same here.
I am so bad at those fucking games.
Yeah, I am too.
All right. Well, that is it for you two. I will let you get going, and then we will record our final segment with Jacob. So we'll take one more quick break, and we will be back with him. Either you got any final words?
No, not today. Sorry.
All right, and we're back one last time with Jacob. Jacob, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself? You finally stopped barfing?
Yeah, still
see,
burping
I told
up
you.
Egg though.
Oh, that sulfur kind of scent. Yeah.
I burped in the car earlier, and Ashley's like, "Do you smell like rotten egg?" I'm like, "Yeah, I burped. Remember McDonald's yesterday?" And she's like, "Oh."
Wait, did you get sick after eating McDonald's?
And a sausage McMuffin, yeah.
Huh.
I wonder if they got a batch of eggs.
Because, you know how I wasn't able to record last week?
Mm-hmm.
I had eaten at McDonald's at 2 days previous, and then the day, so it was a Wednesday when I ate there. Thursday morning, I woke up and I just felt like complete trash, and that McDonald's was the only thing I had done outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
And initial few, rounds of the runs definitely smelled like cheeseburgers. So you might be going through what I had to go through. Which, if that's the case, if your body's telling you to sleep, then sleep. That is my main recommendation.
Runs, but I'm glad we know too much about you. What was the news you had?
So, well, since I don't know what got reported on the news, did Bri steal my thunder?
I don't know what your fucking thunder is.
Disney Dreamlight Valley stuff.
No one talked about Disney Dreamlight.
Good. So, over the week, they announced the surprise animal companion is going to be coming to the valley. We're finally going to get Pluto. Holy shit.
Ermagerd. I do like the opportunity for Pluto coming to curse to Disney on our Facebook page.
Wait, what?
You're saying, oh shit, holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're never going to, send us free swag anyway, so
true,
why not?
Gameloft might.
Nah, they won't either.
Did once.
Well, anywho, so there's that. So I am super stoked about Pluto coming to the valley. He's going to be arriving at some point this spring, so March or April. And then I have Movie Watch.
I'm not pushing the button. Just do the thing.
No. You have to push the button.
I don't even have the window open. God damn it.
Where the fuck
scrolling? It's Movie Watch. There.
Oh, it's the thing that says
Movie Watch. Yeah.
No. I meant open soundboard.
Yeah.
That was horrible. Can we see that again?
Anyway. All right. So, Mortal Kombat 2 has a new trailer out, and it's still going to be coming out May 9th, which I am super freaking stoked about. We get to see Carl Urban's take on Johnny Cage, as well as seeing Katana, Kung Lao, Shao Kahn, who looks terrifying in that movie. We get to see Scorpion and Sub-Zero, of course, or at least Scorpion. I believe Rain is in there, and Noob Saibot. So this is lining. Oh, also Kano's back because, of course, it's Mortal Kombat. Nobody ever stays dead.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I am gonna say I don't buy Carl Urban as a prissy Hollywood guy. I see him as a tough guy who would beat the shit out of everybody in Mortal Kombat, and I think he is miscast as fucking Cage.
I think we're gonna see a different Johnny Cage with this.
Yeah.
I mean, did you watch the trailer?
Yes.
Because the way I picked up on it, I didn't see him being viewed as like some sort of like prissy action star, like how he was portrayed.
Well, maybe prissy wasn't the word, but he still came across as
pampered.
An actor, not an ass kicker.
Well, I mean, and that's I don't know. I got the washed up, action star who is an ass kicker, but nobody cares about him and he's stuck doing cons nowadays. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. So
yeah, it should be.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm probably going to go see this in IMAX when it comes out. So that's going to be delightful.
Nice. Any other news?
No, it was really just those two bits. That was part of why I was just like, just go to bed, Joe. Just go to bed.
I could have done it last night.
I told you to go to bed.
I know you did.
Go to bed. Now.
No, we have to do this. The next game to talk about, Arcade Archives 2 Adventure Canoe, developed and published by HAMSTER, released February 4th, Series X and S, Switch 2, and PS5 for $9.99. Adventure Canoe is an action game released by Taito in 1982. I was 1, Your goal is to paddle your canoe down the river and venture deep into uncharted backcountry. Watch out for driftwood floating downstream and the fierce river currents. Rumor has it that terrifying crocodiles and outlaws inhabit these waters. Can you reach the finish line safely and prove your courage? Jacob, tell us about Adventure Canoe, which is one of my favorite game titles ever.
It is such a weird little friggin' game. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I get it, but then once you see it, you're just like, what possessed somebody to think that this is going to be like a big time arcade game? Like, you know, I get it. Like, you know, it's so weird because I could see somebody playing this at home, but being like, oh yeah, I'm going to pump my quarters in for this. Like, it's just such an odd, like, I don't know. But anyway, so you're playing this explorer guy and you have to make your way. I thought it was upstream, not downstream, but whatever. However you want to imagine it. Anyways, you start at the bottom of the screen. You have to, and you're working your way up.
Well, yeah, you got to watch out for driftwood floating downstream as you fight upstream.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. All right. So the driftwood, which in all honesty looks like big turds, like you're going down the river, and it's a little bit more fun if you imagine it that way. So you have to avoid those. There's also crocodiles, so you can't stay in the same area too long, and you also need to avoid them. And also there's like mercenaries hiding in the side of the jungle, but it's okay because you've got a gun too. So you could blast the crocodiles and like the mercenary guys. But the problem is that to do so, you actually need to aim your boat like in their direction, which really goes against everything that like you're trying to do at the time. And so you really end up having to figure out whether you're just going to, like, you know, full steam ahead or if you're going to try to take out your enemies. And this game is hard as hell. And just when you think you're like, okay, I could do this, like I'm really good at like dodging, you know, like the crocodiles and the mercenaries, like I've got this, you know, the driftwood all of a sudden will just be like, nope. And like, you're just going to have these huge logs coming down the river and inevitably you're just going to eat shit. And yeah, and that's Adventure Canoe.
I'm finding conflicting information on whether or not this was actually released or not. I'm seeing some places stating that it was an unreleased adventure game, and then I'm seeing some stating that it was only released overseas, so it would have just
I was going to say, I think it was just a overseas game.
There is not much information on this game at all. It looks like it was released in New Zealand in 1982. That's it.
That's an oddly specific Adventure Canoe, because now I'm going to look that up.
Dude, there is so little information on this game out. Like, I'm trying to find info to like talk about this game and give more information on it, but like I can't find anything on this one. Yeah, this is an interesting one.
Yeah, it was
included on the Egret Mini 2, which was a handheld manufactured by Inen Games and Strictly Limited Games that released in Japan and worldwide in 2022. Had a whole bunch of old school Taito games on it. And then Twin Cobra. Very, very odd.
Okay, it was an Egret 2 Mini. Huh. But yeah, it's just
very weird. It's weird to find
like,
so little info on a game.
To be honest, I'm not surprised. Like, there's quite a few of these games that I'm just like, I've never once heard of this thing. Like, oh gosh, it was like Night Flight or whatever the heck, Night Landing, whatever it was. It was like where you have to land the plane at nighttime.
Yeah.
like that one, it's just like that's another one where it's just like I get it. But I mean, like, I also can't see myself going to the arcade being like, oh, yeah, man, I got to land that plane. Like,
well, I think next week's game is going to get a lot of attention. It's already gotten a lot of attention just by existing. So many people have been talking about the fact that Rave Racer has a home port after like 30 years.
I'm looking forward to that. I haven't fired it up yet.
Yeah, so we will talk about that next week, but this one clocks in at $10 as usual. The Arcade Archives 2 version has the time attack mode. I couldn't remember which one it was. Time attack mode in the Arcade Archives 2, as well as variable refresh rate. Clocks in at $9.99. What do you think of Adventure Canoe?
So for as difficult as it is and like some wonky controls, like I think this one's a weird little gem that for $10, I think you need to check it out at the very least. I mean, everything Arcade Archives, I'm like, yes, buy it. But at the very least, like even though sitting on the fence post, I still say check this thing out. Like I've recommended worse things to spend $10 on. Like this game deserves your attention, if anything, just because it's like a weird game that none of us had ever heard of.
Yeah. I'd make a filthy joke about what you spend $10 on, but we're going into Kids Corner, right, George?
Kids Corner! With Jacob and friends!
Wow, I had no volume on that one. Oh well, I'll fix that in post. NBA Bounce GOAT the movie DLC, developed by Unfinished Pixel, published by our friends at Outright Games. We are Outright ambassadors. Released February 13th is DLC for NBA Bounce for $9.99. Inspired by the film GOAT, take your game to championship levels. Plays 8 new characters, rise in the climb, and enter a showdown with friends in the cage. Knock down the competition and master every court. Jacob, what is the GOAT, the movie, the DLC for the NBA Bounce, the game?
No. So NBA Bounce we reviewed last year. This is actually some new DLC that's centered around the kids' animated movie GOAT that came out, I think around Valentine's Day. I don't know anything about it other than it's, you know, he's the GOAT. Ha ha ha. You know, greatest of all time. But he's also a GOAT. Who would have guessed that? Anyway. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting that, like, this got made because, yeah, the movie itself was not exactly the most appealing thing. But then again, Outright Games makes games for kids, not 41-year-old dudes. So, you know,
true,
fair, I suppose. But with this, you get so with NBA Bounce, I suppose I should reintroduce that for our listeners who may not remember it. It is a simplified basketball game featuring all of the NBA teams. But one of the fun things is that you can also play as the mascots, and it's more of an arcadey kind of feel, not like NBA Jam, but like it wants to get there. You know what I mean? And so with
NBA
this
jelly,
NBA peanut butter,
maybe fluffernutter,
NBA apple butter,
it could work.
Yeah. Anyway, so
and welcome to the apple butter.
So anyway, with this, so I think it's like for $10, you can pick this up as DLC, or you can now buy, you know, NBA Bounce GOAT, the movie, the deluxe edition. Like, I believe
which also includes a retro party pack,
which is that's helpful to know, which means that you're then getting all of the DLC that's available for this game. But with this, you get to play as 8 new characters from the movie, which, like, I mean, the character models look cool because, I mean, like, you know, if you're into the movie, then, you're going to be like, heck yeah, new characters. I mean, new characters are always cool, but I was a little freaked out that nobody ever blinks. And then I realized, like, they're probably just they probably didn't program the mascots to blink. Like, now that I think about it. And so, like, none of the characters were ever blinking. And it was kind of weird, just like watching them, just like, you know, deer in headlights, which is weird because we're talking about animals here. But like deer in headlights size eyes, just like going all over the court. With
staring into your soul.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know what the heck he's staring into. He's just, he probably doesn't even need eyes anymore. He just sees the universe as is. So anyways, you also get 2 new modes. One of them is called the climb, and that's kind of like, you know, you have to beat all of these challenges. And then there's also the cage, where you can... It's more of like an intense version of it. There's also Rarball, which like it really just speeds things up, and you know, well, rar.
I feel like I have to pay for that after 30 days on Windows.
But yeah, like there's also new cosmetics for this. Like, so if you like sneakers, guess what? There's a huge sneaker collection in this. And also we get new maps that are used in this. So we get one that's, these are apparently related to the movie itself. So like there's like a jungle one, there's an ice one, there's a volcano one. I'm leaving one out, I think. Anyway, so yeah, so it creates all sorts of interesting little changes to all the maps. I mean, because the volcano one, like obviously the court is exploding as you're playing. Ice is going to be a little bit more slippery, but you also have stuff that you can bounce off, or not bounce off of, but jump off of to make even like crazier baskets. So
I'm going to say it. I'm not a fan of ice.
Well, yeah, I mean, for us Americans, yes.
Cold?
Oh, that kind of ice.
If it falls on you, it usually hurts.
Right. But it does cool drinks.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes it waters them down, though.
I mean, then you should probably be drinking faster.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah.
Anyway, we got to get back to this review and deport a verdict. So
anyway, so yeah. So pretty much, I mean, like if you're a fan of the movie GOAT, or your kids are a fan of the movie, pick it up. If you're looking for some new experiences in the NBA bounce game, because I know there's quite a few people on the Steam reviews where they're like, this is a fun arcade game. Like, I wasn't expecting this to actually be this good. So if you're looking for some new stuff to do in there, like the new courts definitely help. It especially helps with the arcadey feel of it. So, I mean, for $10, go for it. If you provide you already.
Speaking of new stuff to do in the game, there's 3 new achievements you could get as well.
Oh.
Yeah, there's one to win a match in the climb game mode. You think you could handle that?
I don't know.
Do you think you could win the 20th match?
I mean, with some practice, yeah.
That's worth 150 points.
Goodness.
Yeah. And then there's knock down players on the other team 5 times in one match.
That's easier to do than you'd think.
Oh, I know.
So yeah. But I mean, like for $10, I mean, yeah, I'd highly recommend it. And honestly, if you don't already own NBA Bounce, then just get the huge NBA Bounce GOAT, the movie, the deluxe edition. And get everything all at once.
$29.99. Well, the game's the $19.99, the DLC's the $9.99, and the deluxe, the delition, whatever words.
The delition?
Yes, $30.
Delicious.
And it comes with the Retro Party pack as well, which includes classic sneakers and a newsboy cap. a blazing newspaper trail. It mentions that old school is the new cool, where you score points with the vintage basketball, classic sneakers, and a cap. And then you could blaze a newsworthy trail where you score points with the vintage basketball, sneakers, and a newsboy cap. Store page repeats itself a little bit on this one.
Just a smidge, it seems like.
Yeah. So if you want that newsboy cap and sneakers.
Huh. It does that on Steam as well.
Yay. Anyway, that is it for this episode. We made it through another one. Jacob, thanks for being here to wrap things up at the end here. Big thanks to the Daylight Basement crew for coming on in the first half of the show, chatting about Rightfully Beary Arms, and then, of course, Bri and Aki hanging out for the middle portion. You missed all the fun stuff, Jacob. It was a party.
Well, probably because I wasn't there.
That is exactly why.
Yeah, see? I knew.
You have any final words?
I gotta pee.
Now that's respectful.